What's up, Blackhawk fans? This is Nick from the Blackhawk Talk YouTube channel, and today I am going to talk about a topic that comes up quite a bit: numbers that should be retired in Chicago. To start with, number 81, Marian Hossa. I know his contract was recently traded today, but he is still deserving to have his number hanging from the rafters of the United Center. Everything he has done for the team and everything that he has been for the city of Chicago sure does deserve this number to be retired. And Hossa won us 3 Stanley Cups. He's a true leader in hockey. He's an ambassador to the team. And anything he does, he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest players to ever play as a two-way forward in the NHL. Hossa's number 81 should be retired. Next, number 2, Duncan Keith, the Conn Smythe winner of 2015. A 3-time Stanley Cup champion and 2-time Norris Trophy, all with the Chicago Blackhawks, of course. Anything else I need to say? This number's one of the most recognizable, probably the best defenseman ever in Chicago Blackhawk history. He's proven himself. He's a freaking workhorse on the ice when it comes to playoffs. And if his number's never retired in Chicago, I don't know what they're thinking. Next, a little bit of controversy to other fans of the sport. Number 50, Corey Crawford. Crawford is well deserving of his number being retired in Chicago. One of the greatest goalies to ever wear the Blackhawk jersey. He won us 2 Stanley Cups, being the only Blackhawk goalie to do so. If he wasn't injured all season last year, I would say he would have won the Vezina Trophy. He's one of the greatest goalies in the NHL as it sits. He doesn't get the credit for it from other fans, but Blackhawk fans all know the number 50 and Corey Crawford is our greatest goalie since probably Eddie Belfour. I will have to say that. And the 50 will be retired in Chicago. Hopefully, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, and this number deserves it. A man who just announced his retirement this season after a long, great career in the NHL, Patrick Sharp. He was drafted by Philadelphia, but he didn't make a name for himself over in Philly because he didn't play there long. He made his name in Chicago. He was in the dark days of the Blackhawks, and by coming in 2005, he and Duncan Keith actually were at train stations giving away tickets when the United Center wouldn't ever sell out the building. Sharpie was a fan favorite to Chicago, and his number is deserving because of the 3 Stanley Cups, everything he did for the city, and everything he did in building the Blackhawks to winning them 3 Stanley Cups. Pretty well deserving. The next 2 on this list, it just gets their names on here automatically. Kane and Taves. These 2 players were drafted by the Hawks, 1st overall, and Kane in 2007, 3rd overall in 2006 for Jonathan Toews, my bad. Taser's been the nicknamed Captain Serious. He's led the Hawks to 3 Stanley Cups as well as everyone else that's been on this list so far. He's won the Conn Smythe Trophy in 2010, the first of the 3 Stanley Cups. He's won a Selke in 2013. He's won the Leadership Award, which is the Marc Messier Award, in 2014, I believe. I could be mistaken. Feel free to comment down below. But Patrick Kane, all I need to say, his number is going to be in the rafters. Same with Taves. Kane's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, Conn Smythe Trophy, Hart Trophy, Ted Lindsay, and he won the scoring title all in a year after breaking his clavicle when he could have won the scoring title in 2015. But he broke his clavicle, didn't get to win the scoring title. But he put up his best numbers in the 2016 season and well deserves his number to be retired in Chicago. The next 2 on this list are 2 numbers I don't think get retired, but they're honorable mentions, and just because one of these numbers hasn't been retired yet and the player's been retired for a long time. Number 16, Eddie Olczyk. Edzo is currently an analyst with Pat Foley during the Blackhawks games. I know he didn't have a long career in Chicago. He was drafted by us, but then traded, then came back to retire a Hawk. But I think his number should be retired. I know of what happened last year and him having cancer, but him beating it, Edzo, well deserving. The next number on the honorable mention is the number 7. If they retire the number 7, they have to retire it with 2 players. One of the players, I do not have their jersey to do this, but the number 7, Brent Seabrook, and I will have to say Chris Chelios, both deserve their numbers retired. Chelios was a hard-nosed player in the 90s for the Blackhawks, one of the greatest defensemen in NHL history. Seabrook won his 3 Stanley Cups. He has an A on his jersey that he doesn't get a lot of credit for. I know his contract's not good, but he got paid for what he did in Chicago and what he is in Chicago. He's a leader. He's a talent. He was talented at his prime, but he still could have his number retired. But the number 7, probably, if it's retired, is retired with Seabrook's name and Chris Chelios' name put both together. I know some of these numbers on this list may make fans of other teams angry, but I believe what I put to the statements of whose numbers most likely gets retired in Chicago and whose should be retired has a lot of talk to this. If you'd like to continue the conversation, please comment down below, like, subscribe, and be ready for the upcoming Chicago Blackhawks season, and let's go Hawks.